welcome back. It's afternoon here. I've sort of wrapped up my work for the day a little bit early, which I'm impressed about because I just managed to smash through everything. And this afternoon I wanted to have a little chat and I want to talk about self-development and personal growth and sort of just putting yourself in a better position. So I don't know if you guys can tell. I mean, you probably can because with a video you usually can. But I feel like I'm mentally in a lot better place than I was last year. And I would probably put a little bit of that down to what I'm about to talk through in this video. Okay, the first one that I wanted to talk about is not being afraid to take new opportunities. Don't let fear push you away from an opportunity that you really want. And you know, if this sends you on a slightly different trajectory to what you had originally been envisioning, then that's okay. I think as long as it gives you that feeling where you're like a little bit nervous and a little bit excited at the same time, that sort of combined feeling, then you know it is the sort of direction that you want to be aiming for. And I personally think, sorry about the kettle, but I think that the more opportunities that you allow yourself to accept, the more start to come your way. Like, I know this year I've started doing way more public speaking and way more events and things like that. Whereas a few years ago, even though I've been trained in public speaking and I know how to do it, I was still scared. I was still scared that like I wasn't the right person to be doing that and I wasn't the person who should be having their say. But it seems like I started saying yes to some of these opportunities because I know deep down, like I know I can do it. And the more that I've been saying yes, the more these opportunities have been rolling around. And I still get nervous. Like today I've been writing a speech for something that I'm doing next week. And oh my God, yeah, it makes me nervous, but it's worth it. And I like that bit of excitement. I think you need that. It's really raining outside. But my next tip is about self-love. My version of self-love still involves self-improvement. It means accepting yourself as you are currently, but going, hey, like if I wish to do better or if I wish to feel better, I can, and allowing yourself to progress forward. It's not a stuck state, it's forever evolving. For me, you can boil it down to one thing. Do you accept yourself for who and what you are? Or don't you? Okay, I feel like it would not even be me if I didn't talk about this tip at all, but I think this is important. I think this is one of those fundamental things which if you can do it consistently, will contribute to your overall well-being. And that is to treat your body well. I know for a fact that a poor diet, and by this I mean loads of processed foods, way too much refined sugar, drinking really regularly, and just in general not paying any attention to what you're eating, it can make you feel terrible. And I'm not saying you have to sit here and overhaul everything that you're eating. That's not what I'm trying to tell you at all. I'm trying to say, make micro changes that are sustainable for you. So for example, if you eat eggs for breakfast, add in some spinach, add in some mushrooms. If you prefer a smoothie, cool, like work in a bunch of fruits. Look where you can add in micronutrients. And it's not about cutting certain things out forever. I don't like that mentality. And I have been in that place myself where I've thought like, no, I can't be flexible at all. Like that doesn't work. I don't know if you guys caught my last vlog, but I made a dessert to bring to Anna's place for dinner. And while I might not have had like a full piece, I did have a tiny slice, like the size of my thumb, because at the moment that meal doesn't match my goals properly, but it doesn't mean I can't have any at all. And on top of this, getting some movement in your day is so beneficial for your mental health, not even just for your body and not just for your cardiovascular health, but literally your mind. I love going out on walks in the morning, even though it's freezing. Like right now it's winter here and it just gets so cold. Like some of these morning walks. Now keep in mind, I grew up somewhere where it's warm pretty much all year. So living here, this is my second ever proper winter. I do notice if I don't do them, I can feel it and I can feel more frustrated during the day and things are just a little bit off. And I also think it's so important to work on what ignites you. This doesn't necessarily have to mean a job. I know for some passions, they don't make heaps of money and they're not a sustainable career, or you're not at the point with them yet where they can be your career. And I completely recognize the privilege that I have with the job that I do have. But even before I was doing coaching and YouTube and that sort of thing full time, I was working in an office and trying to do stuff on the side. And I'm not saying you need to do things to monetize them, but I think it's important to have a passion. Life is just so much better when you have things that bring you fulfillment. Whether it's a hobby or a side hustle or a business you're trying to get off the ground, choose things that appeal to you and your values. One way to sort of kick yourself up the butt and really start working on these things is to set a lofty goal for yourself. My younger sister recently started a YouTube channel and I was like, right, you need a website. And she's like, what? Why? And I'm like, because if you're doing something like this, and take note, any of you who are like creative or you're sort of dabbling in your own business, setting up your own website is a great way to build and have a community around you that isn't attached to your social media. You guys know I already have all of my things already set up. So for her, we needed something that was very easy to use for someone who has zero web design experience.
What would you consider your web design experience from a 0 to a 10?
0.
Okay.
When I was building Zoe's site, we decided to opt for Wix. So if you're thinking about creating your own website or blog, I will leave a link to Wix below. Check it out in the description box. I've included a link for you. So I decided to use this platform for Zoe. So if you are new to it, have a look, see if it feels like it's the right fit for you. If you want a simple site that's pretty much ready to go straight away, this is a good option. So I had a whole intro video which I made Zoe watch. We like sat there and I was like, nope, you need to watch this, because if she has to come back and edit something later, she needs to know what she's doing, because I'm just gonna set it up for her. It had a very easy build mode where you can pretty much just drag and drop things, you can click things, customize. It has a lot of shortcuts too, which I'm yet to experience in other platforms. There's font size bumpers where you can automatically go up or down. There's just little tweaks that you can make with it that are very simple. So what we decided to do for her site is make it an extension of her YouTube channel. So obviously her YouTube channel covers like, I think she's got some recipe things and she's got some sport things. She's an athlete and she plays squash, and so she wants to cover that sort of journey. So I was like, okay, well, let's make something that is SEO friendly. So we went out and we took some photos for her to use across her socials and on the new blog that we put together. So if this is something that you've been considering for a while, take this as your sign. Like, if it's something that you're passionate about and it's something that you want to do, start, dive in, jump in. That's the best way to get moving. It's not going to be perfect from the get-go. There's going to be some learning involved, but if you start now, you're already ahead. Now it's time to practice some gratitude. This is something I like to do in the mornings. I don't like to make it a lengthy process because I don't have heaps of time to be sitting around wasting filling in a journal. Like, I have other stuff to do throughout my day. So I like to make it short and sweet. And I think I talked about this in my last morning routine I did, which was maybe like 6 months ago. But a little habit that I like to have is my morning journal. And it's a simple process, and I just ask myself 3 questions. How am I feeling today? What do I want to achieve for today? And my mantra for the day. And in there, I like to practice a bit of gratitude. You don't always have to sit down and write out a full list. The brilliant thing about the way our brains work is you can set up little cues to remind yourself to do something. You could do something as simple as every day when you brush your teeth, so in the morning and at night, your toothbrush is the cue to start listing off things that you're grateful for. The more you start to list these things off, the easier they'll be to identify. And when you can switch your headspace from constantly noticing the negative to starting to notice the positive, that will start to shine through. You have every ingredient for happiness already inside you, but we're constantly being sold the idea that we need something else to feel better. And finally, I want to talk about learning a new skill. It doesn't even need to be anything huge, but learning a new skill breeds confidence. I see it all the time in my coaching clients. When people start to learn something new, they get really excited. And that excitement is just going to make you eager to learn even more. And I think this goes back to the letting yourself accept new opportunities thing. Because it might be a little bit scary and it might be a little bit different. But if there's something you want to do, and if you really want to do it, I know sometimes there can be financial limitations, there can be time limitations. You can figure out a way. And yes, some things are difficult, but you know what this will do? It will grow your patience. People are so impatient now. They want fitness results straight away. They want their business to be a 6-figure business like 2 months after starting it. And I hate to break it to you, but it's not the way it works. You have to put in the hard yards. You have to put in the work. These are just a few of the things that I've tried out, and I feel like they've really helped me over the last year or so. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Feel free to come on over and join me on Instagram. That's where I can update you a little more regularly. I do Q&As and that kind of stuff over there. Set a few little goals for yourself and let's see what you can achieve over the next year or so.